Folks, welcome to another show of Homegrown Hunter TV. I want to introduce you to a good friend. I've known him for many years now, Jason St. Michael from SCI.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate you having me, and congratulations on your new show.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Now, I've invited Jason on here to talk a little bit about SCI because the way I've looked at this, I'm not a member, but hopefully by the end of today, after talking to me, I'll be signing up. But the reason I wanted you on is because as a viewer myself, just because of the SCI and what Jim Shockey's doing involved with the Shockey Productions and stuff. Now, I've always seen it as African game, maybe overseas hunting as opposed to Canada. But I know you've been in Canada for many years. You got lots of branches or chapters. Tell us a little bit about what SCI is all about.
Well, you know what, you're absolutely right. It's the first thing people think is Africa when you say Safari Club International. Really and truly, we're first for hunters. You'll look at my tagline here, it's SCI, First for Hunters. We have an office in Canada, in Ottawa. I am the only employee in Canada, and I'm the operations manager. We have 16 chapters, and those chapters, they have fundraisers annually. They keep 70% of all the money that they raise, and they do local projects. We do everything from youth hunted mentorship programs. We've purchased robotic animals for the MNR to fight poaching. Awesome. The DNR, we bought a life-size moose, robotic moose in Manitoba. We have a dock in Drayton Valley, a private fish pond where they take disabled and elderly people on. That's it. And they fish for rainbow trout.
Okay, where is it located?
In Drayton Valley, Alberta. It's
okay.
got an anti-slip dock. It's really a fabulous program. We do conservation, education, and humanitarian projects throughout North America, throughout the world. Mm-hmm. But of course, being in Canada, that's where we're focused on. In Canada, we've been involved in things such as the decline of the caribou in Newfoundland, studying why that is happening, which is a model that can be used across North America to decide, you know, is it predation, is it global warming, why are our animals declining? And then we're able to use it in biology.
Are you providing that information to the local biologists, or like how do you guys collect that data?
Well, I'll tell you what we've done is we've partnered we're the only NGO, which is a non-governmental organization, that helps sponsor the program. They need funding to send these biologists and these people into the field to do these studies, and we've committed just shy of $400,000 to this program.
That's just for Canada alone.
That's just for Canada, and that's just one program. We've done polar bear studies. We've done helped with the reintroduction of the elk here in Ontario. We sit on the Hunter and Angler Advisory Panel to the government to ensure things like the duck stamp.
That's to the Premier.
To the Prime Minister.
Prime Minister, sorry.
Absolutely. We work with our provincial government. We work with the federal governments throughout. We just did a big push. We're trying to ensure that the Liberal government in Ontario bring back the spring bear hunt.
I'm all over that.
We have an obscene amount of bears.
I'm a big bear hunter myself. I own a guide service taking out bears, but I'll tell you right now, what happens is, and it's just happening right now because we're in the middle of September, my focus is changing to deer. So you got 2 weeks opener, and not enough bears are being harvested in the fall. So, I mean, with you guys helping out with that spring, it's just more people getting on board to get that going.
Absolutely, and look at it this way. SCI focuses on science-based conservation. The spring bear hunt was stopped purely for political reasons, which we all know. But what are the effects of not having that spring bear hunt? How does it affect the rest of the ecological system? Mm-hmm. Is it affecting the moose populations in Ontario? Probably is, because if you look at it, we've had a steady decline.
In tags,
you know, they harvest the bears are predators, and they prey on moose calves. You know, we have a moratorium on wolves and coyotes around Algonquin Park. How's that affecting our deer population? We advocate that seasons, and you know, we have biologists that we depend on and pay to do a wildlife management plan, and we must adhere to that. Unfortunately, humans have encroached, and we've grown in, and we have to manage our wildlife populations. Mm-hmm. We're the only national organization, coast to coast, worldwide, that can represent that voice. We have a lot of great provincial organizations. We work with those organizations, but we have scientists, we have staff, we have lawyers, we have a complete legal team that we work with to help ensure that our management programs are followed, rather than political rhetoric that's causing poor decisions.
Yeah.
You know, But then we also do our humanitarian and our educational and our conservation programs as well. That's a big focus for the chapters.
Okay.
You know.
Now, as a member, if I sign on today, I'm not only helping support that, obviously support local chapters that are holding the banquets, which I do locally with a bunch of nonprofit stuff, but what do I get back? Not to say that I should get something back because I'm supporting you guys. It's not the fact that you should support me, but how do I know, what's going on with SCI and the Organization for Canada?
You get 6 high-gloss color magazines that's kind of written by our membership. It talks about hunts that they've been on around the world. To me, it's a lot of hunts I can never afford, but I get to live through their eyes and see what they do. It's an award-winning magazine. It's fantastic. You get 12 newspapers annually. It's called Safari Times. That comes to every member. That's mailed to you, absolutely. We do have an email version available. We have a new program right now where the first year, $35 an introductory offer. It's $55 is the regular membership. Okay. If you take an e-membership, it's $35. So it will be emailed to you. Now, on top of that, if you belong to a local chapter, they generally have a publication. Most parts it's email.
Newsletter type.
Newsletter. And then SCI Canada is also sending out a quarterly newsletter to all of its followers. Then, of course, we have some perks, hotel discounts, airline discounts, and so on. So for being a member.
Mm-hmm. Liability insurance fall into the same
We don't have the liability insurance because we are worldwide.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard to insure.
The paperwork, I can just imagine.
Absolutely. And I mean, majority of our chapters are based in the United States, and we are a worldwide organization. We see that we could get it in the United States, but then the rest of the world's going to be left out. We have 152 chapters in the United States, 16 chapters in Canada, and 30 rest of the world.
Okay.
So we are a huge we have the largest hunting organization in the world. And we have the largest hunting convention in the world.
Well, I'll tell you what, being part of the Shockies and stuff, I see posts from Jim Shockey and Eva being down there. Like, where is that? Isn't it like Nevada or something?
Traditionally, in the last 8 or 10 years, it's been Reno. And the last 2 or 3 years, we've moved it to Las Vegas again.
Okay.
At the Mandalay Bay, February 4th to the 6th. And I'll tell you what.
4th to the 6th of
February, yep.
Okay.
Anybody who is into hunting or...
Do I have to be a member to be there, though?
You do have to be a member to attend. But with the introductory offer, it's really a great deal, and everything from mounts to jewelry to sporting gear throughout the world.
Sorry about that.
No problem. It takes you 3 days to get through it, and you won't see it all.
Okay, cool. So how, if I can maybe pick your brain a little bit about the show, if I go down there, I go down and check it out, obviously seeing all these different taxidermists and mounts and hunts that they have to offer. How many square feet of that? Because I remember Jim posting something about you can walk for like 10K or something.
You know what? The number eludes me right now, but it's something in the neighborhood of 50,000 square feet. No, more than that. 7 football fields.
Wow. That's fantastic.
7 football fields. I have people tell me they have, within 3 days they see about 3/4 of it. Then we have evening entertainment. This year we have Ron White. We have
the comedian.
The comedian.
He's awesome.
We have a couple bands playing. We've had speakers like George Bush. Very, very high end. We have evening auctions, day auctions. I mean, it's unlike any. I can't explain it. It's just amazing.
In 3 days of the show, you're not gonna have enough time to see it all.
Absolutely.
Even if you're bebopping through.
Yep. I mean, if you just walk through it, you would see it all. But I mean, you're not.
I think you're better off saying, okay, I'm going to go to Africa and I want to hunt
target
a specific game animal, and try and hit those one spots.
Absolutely.
And just bucker through because you won't have all the time. I'm sure there's some gorgeous. I know advanced taxidermies down there as well.
They do a fabulous display. And I mean, I'm sure that these taxidermists work on these displays for the year for this show. I mean, I can't explain it, absolutely. Yeah. But I agree. For anybody that's interested in going to the show, what I recommend is target, as you say, I'm interested in a whitetail hunt in Saskatchewan, or I'm interested in a duck or dove hunt in Argentina, or I'm interested in an African plains game hunt. Target is, you can go online to our website, www.sciconvention.org, I believe it is, and target those few outfitters and go visit them and see them.
Yeah, okay.
You know, and there's tons of information there for everything, guns. I mean,
it's
you name it.
It's not strictly, overseas African game hunting. It's strictly all over Ontario and any of the outfitters that want to go down there and present themselves to guys. Whether, like you say, it's affordable to the point where I know that Africa, you can actually go there for less. And I'm not putting down any Saskatchewan or Alberta hunter or outfits, but I was told from one guy at a show that I was attending that for like, I think at the time it was like $25 or maybe $2,600, I could, without the flight, go to Africa, hunt 3 game animals for the same price as what it would cost me for a whitetail hunt in Saskatchewan.
Absolutely.
You know,
I got to tell you, when I started with the organization, I come from the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, and they hired me at SCI, and their question to me was, we want you to come work for me, blah, blah, blah. And I kind of said, well, I have no interest in Africa.
Yeah, it's funny.
And as I learned about the organization, it's a great organization. They do fabulous work. But there is people that hunt in Africa. They hunt all over the world. And after talking to these people and realizing the excitement and how much they love going, I was telling you earlier about a gentleman from Moose Jaw.
Yeah.
I think he's went 7 or 8 times in the last 5 years. I mean, it's gone above. I now want to go. It's on my bucket list. We're planning it 2017. I'm planning on going, and I can't wait. And I have a selection of animals. We have our outfitter picked, and we're going. We're going. I mean, it's just there's no stopping us. I've been doing some hunts locally. I did an elk hunt in Alberta last year. I did a bear hunt in Saskatchewan the year before, and so I've done some North American. But as you say, you start comparing it.
It's comparable pricing. I'm
Absolutely.
heading out to an outfit in Saskatchewan this coming month, and I'm excited to go. I'm happy to go out to these guys and hunt there. But for the same travel prices, costs. I mean, I'm driving out there, so I mean, you would assume that the price of flight would probably be expensive. But I even looked into the flights to Africa, and it's not.
No.
It's not that
$1,200, $1,500.
$1,500 return.
Yeah.
The only concern I would have, and maybe you've got a forum or something that guys can sign on to kind of give us a ballpark in regards to what it's going to cost to get those trophies back.
Right, and that you work with your outfitter. It can range anywhere depending on what you take and what you're bringing back. It can be $1,500 to $5,000. It could be more than that. I know guys that have brought back 30, 40 animals, and they're all taxidermy, so they're renting containers and they're on container ships and so on and so forth. So your outfitter will really be a big help in that area, and that's where I recommend you go. And we're talking a lot about traveling hunting, but SCI is more than that. We're really about all hunters, no matter where you are. Working together. We talked about the spring bear hunt. One of the other things we just did at a dinner I was at on the weekend, moose management in Ontario. Yeah, I talk about Ontario because we're here in Ontario, but in zone 48, 55, 55B, there's a few of them. You have to apply for a calf tag. You can't hunt moose, period, in those zones unless you get drawn for a calf tag or a bull tag or a cow tag. Mm-hmm. So that same person has to spend the $50-some for a license. If he doesn't get drawn or she doesn't get drawn, it's non-refundable and they can't hunt. However, with the elk draw, for example, I can give you a $15 or $17, whatever it is, draw application fee. And if they get drawn, then they have to purchase the seal at $50 or $60. We feel that the moose should be managed exactly the same way. Why should you have to pay this money if you if you don't get drawn?
Where's that $50 go?
Right.
That's
it goes in. I think it goes into the special purpose account. But why is it fair that you can do it, or the guy up in North Bay, for example, or Thunder Bay, he can purchase a license and go hunt calf?
Yeah.
So we work on the behalf of hunters. We really do. There's a lot of things, conservation. There's a lot of projects that we're doing, and I think to try and dispel the myth that we are African hunters or the traveling hunter, really for all hunters.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to end that right now. I'm going to have you back for another show, Jason.
Excellent.
Thank you very much. Folks, hghtv.ca. Go on to sci.org, you said?
SCI-Canada.ca.
Okay, so there you go, folks. Join on today. I'm going to be joining myself, and we're going to have Jason back for another show to talk about some other opportunities we have for supporting his banquets, the chapters, and raising some money for them to help us Canadians out. Thanks for joining us.